What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing? Welcome to Tech Support Live. This is a weekly show that we do every single Friday in order for us to pretty much help you with any kind of tech-related or tech support-related question that you guys have. So whether you're looking to set up your product, maybe you're trying to figure out what next product to upgrade your home office with, or really you're just kind of here to hang out, welcome to the show. Just to introduce myself, I'm Angelo. I'm the Senior Interactive Media Specialist here at NETGEAR. I manage this YouTube channel. I manage the Night Hyper Gaming Twitch channel. And really, if you follow any of our social accounts like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, anywhere, there might be a chance that I had a hand in the content that you saw. So that's me. We're actually down to a three-person show. Unfortunately, if you're a returning viewer, our Michael Ellis, he unfortunately is unable to make it. Got crazy weather here in California. We'll go into that until a little bit later. Either way, Ben, you are up next.
Hey, everybody, this is Ben. I just want to say happy Friday. Looking forward to seeing a few of you out there. You know, Dan, Marcia, Ryan, Trina. I guess shout out to everybody. But thanks for joining. Happy Friday. I am the Nighthawk Pro Gaming Brand Experience Manager. I'm here to answer as many questions as I can on as many things as I have some level of expertise. But the real expert is our good friend over here, Darren. And I'll let you take it away.
I'm Darren. I'm a technical support specialist and community moderator at NETGEAR, and I cover our home networking products. And hopefully, we can help someone in the chat today.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Ben.
I think that's our goal every week is to help at least somebody in the chat.
Exactly. And to that point. Again, we do go chronologically, so really the first question we see in the chat is the first one that we will get into. So always encourage everybody here, if it's your first time joining or if you're a returning viewer, if you do have a question, come in the chat early because those are the questions we'll get to first. And that said, I will start from the top. I've been kind of talking, and I've been seeing the chat go down. Vanessa Kitty.
I just want to say it's more of a comment than a question. Maybe it is a question. Enchiladas? Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Ryan, a.k.a. Shady Joker. I will say Shady Joker every single time. Thank you for your insightful comment. Enchiladas? Yes. It's lunchtime for us, so honestly, the moment we start talking about food, I know I'm not going to be able to stop. Kev Herbert, I remember your name from previous streams. Welcome back. Donald, I don't recognize your name if it's your first time, or maybe you have come by and I wasn't hosting, but welcome to the show. Dan Tuma, welcome to the show. Marcia, hello. Marcia, you're saying you're watching on 5G because the Nighthawk is slow for some reason. Well, if you have a specific question about the Nighthawk, hopefully maybe we can help out a little bit. But also, I'm kind of jealous that you do have 5G. I'm not on a 5G phone yet, and I probably won't be until another year and a half until this thing kind of breaks. So hopefully that 5G is working well for you, and then you could watch us in super HD. Hopefully that's what my bandwidth is looking like. And Trina, welcome, and awesome. Welcome everybody to the show. Again, drop your questions in, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. All right, I see one from Darren, or sorry, from Dan to Darren. Didn't you?
Dan's trying to call Darren out.
Yeah,
but I think he's trying to call Michael out because Michael was the one talking about it, wasn't me. But I think what Michael was saying there is, even though we're putting out a 6E router, it might take a while for the rest of the industry and other products to make Wi-Fi 6E a part of their device to take advantage of our router. So it could take some time for phones, consoles, computers, all that stuff to get the right networking cards and then to fully take advantage of Wi-Fi 6E.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not that it's going to hit the market. I think that he's talking about it hitting the middle of the curve, the medium market where everybody is like, oh, I should get one of those. It takes a while for those things to happen. Early adopters are definitely gravitating to it now. but it's going to take a while to get some traction. I think
Mhm.
that's what we were trying to say.
Yeah, and I've seen this so many times, right? Especially in the YouTube videos. I think I pushed out a couple this week. It's like, oh, why get Wi-Fi 6E? It's going to take a while for products to even support it. So why should I buy it? I mean, I think that's just like any kind of general comment that like any early adopter kind of technology comes out. The technology comes out first, right? And then the devices go out to support it. I saw the same thing with Wi-Fi 6, which was really, in reality, not that long ago. But the same exact comments. And what's happening is now all the phones and everything is going towards Wi-Fi 6 now. So again, this is nothing new, but always for all the early adopters out there, the ones that are excited about the technology or are looking to future-proof your network, and maybe this is the right time for you to upgrade, that's when the Wi-Fi 6E router becomes a little bit more of
Right.
a top-of-mind decision.
Yeah, and right now I would have to say, Dan's like, good deflection. I'm going to pivot here. I think it's a good time to jump and move to Wi-Fi 6. The jump to Wi-Fi E isn't going to be as significant as it was from AC to AX, but yeah, if you're in that market, now is a good time to do that.
Mhm.
Let's see. Let's scroll back. But awesome as always, Dan. Great questions. F for respect.
F for respect. I'm gonna toss this one to Ben because I feel like we've been talking about this a little bit more recently. Does Netgear have a anti-cheating device? A device that stops cheating but doesn't let you cheat, which is how are we doing this terminology now on Night Hopper
So an
Gaming?
that would be fantastic. I would love an anti, like that. Anything that detects like an aimbot that's on your network and just punts it to the sun. But no, I think that's something, that's a great idea. I mean, anti cheating devices. I think that would probably be more on the server side, and I think that's more of a software play. But that's a super cool idea. Cheating is the bane of all online gaming, as we know. Exploiting, cheating, wall hacks, any of that, garbage technique. It really drags down the game. It makes everybody bummed out, and but I would say no at this point in time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I wonder how. I mean, it's a cool idea, but I'm wondering how, from the network side, you could stop cheating versus, let's say, something that the publisher side would do in terms of the game. And I think that's the fascinating thing about esports or just like kind of online multiplayer gaming is that, instead of like basketball, it's like, the rules of the game are pretty static. Like, let's say, just like a traditional kind of sport. For esports, things could change overnight, and you could have like a whole cheating thing, and then you could completely change like how the game is played just because of that. Either way, I think it's an interesting kind of topic. Just while you start to get a little bit more questions coming in. I don't know. More to come. Just stay tuned. We always like to say stay tuned, and we always love to hear all your guys' awesome ideas.
I think it's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
I just how we would go ahead and implement that from both a hardware and a software perspective. I don't know. Sorry about that. I was up last night racing ridiculous endurance races on
Forza Motorsport. You can look at our backgrounds. These are these are the games we're playing. Except for Darren, I don't know if maybe you're just in outer space or what you're playing recently.
I'm playing Warzone.
Awesome. Man. But awesome. Let us know your comments and your future suggestions. And again, you never know if they'll start pushing that kind of stuff out.
Exactly.
DJ G-Boy. Are the EAX15 Wi-Fi extenders compatible with Orbee Wi-Fi 6? Connecting extenders to Orbee. What's the official answer here?
Well, I mean, you're kind of defeating the purpose of having an Orbee. If you have an Orbee, you should be buying the satellites, which are basically an extender for the Orbee, which would work better with the Orbee system. Technically, you could hook that extender up to the Orbee if you need to,
I would say technically yes, but the big question is why.
Yeah.
I would rather have the Orbee satellite and just make it smooth sailing and it just plugs right into the system than put like an EX15 in there, and next thing you know, you may have compatibility issues, you may not, it may work, it may not, it just why take on a headache when you don't have to?
Yeah. So yeah, technically yes, but we'd encourage you to stay within the Orbee ecosystem because that's what it really was designed for, right? And we do have a variety of Orbee satellites, whether you need it outdoors, you need a smaller form factor. We have all these different kinds of form factors that are actually pretty comparable to what you would probably receive with the EX15. So I'm kind of hopefully on the assumption that you haven't purchased the extender yet, and you're looking to set it up, but encourage you to look towards that direction. Technically, the answer is yes, but it's not the best solution that you could give yourself. I would say the EX15 is better if you have something kind of like a Nighthawk, just a one router solution, and then you put the EX15 in the middle of your house. Then it'll act like an Orbee. But if you already have an Orbee system, I encourage you to check out the Orbee satellites. All right, that gamer. I think this is the first time I'm seeing you on the show, at least from me. So welcome to the show. What's the difference between wireless access points and mesh Wi-Fi? And which one is better in terms of seamless transition? That's a good question. What do you guys think?
So mesh Wi-Fi would be better if you're looking for seamless transition. A wireless access point, it creates a whole new wireless network in your house. So if you're walking around your house and you lose connection to one of your Wi-Fi networks, you'd have to manually bring up the Wi-Fi settings on your device and connect to the next closest one if it's an access point. If it's mesh, you can walk around the house and the device will automatically connect to that next device without you having to do anything. So mesh would probably be a better way to go in always.
Yep. And I would agree.
I agree.
So mesh really was designed for that seamless roaming aspect. And really when I did first start at NETGEAR, that was kind of when Orbee was just about to take off. So we're talking about Orbee a lot. But really, it's because it kind of really was a trailblazer in terms of the mesh technology kind of product line in terms of all in NETGEAR. So that technology is designed to seamlessly roam. The wireless access points, I would encourage that solution if you're looking more towards, let's say you're kind of coming from the prosumer kind of level, let's say along the lines of Ubiquity, where you want to have something that's a little bit more DIY, and maybe you want to set up VLANs. Maybe you want, and actually we're talking about this a lot kind of here as a company, you set up these wireless access points, you make a network for your home network, like let's say your work network, right? You can set up your company VPN, do all your work stuff there, keep all that stuff confidential. Then you have a home network where it's a little bit more for your Netflix/video streaming kind of general use stuff. And then you could even set up a third network. Let's say you want a guest network, pretty much for any guest that doesn't want to put in their password, or let's say you want one for your IoT devices. So again, that's all possible if you're willing to set that stuff up yourself. But Orbee, mesh, seamless roaming, that's all designed to be set and forget it. So, kind of think about that when you're trying to figure out what you want to use your network for. Seamless roaming, I would encourage you to check out Orbee. All right, we got Guillermo, and feel free to call me out if I do miss a question. That does happen. You could yell at me. I don't mind. Guillermo, hey A-Team, do you have any plans in bringing NETGEAR Armor to the X10 Amazing Router? Thanks for making great products.
Christine got way ahead of us here.
She's already on it.
Dang. All right. Let me see.
She checked and we're not doing it at this time.
Thank you, Christine. Christine, she is, to everybody here, she's our gal in the sky, really. She's hearing everything that we're saying, but she'll be commenting through the NETGEAR YouTube account. So everybody say hi to Christine in the chat. But yes, Guillermo, unfortunately, we can't comment too much on on like pretty much kind of future releases, whether it's software or hardware. And even if I did know the answer. But hopefully that KP article does help for your needs right now. And really, to an extent, I mean, we do like to hear, like, even if we haven't rolled it out yet to these products, like you guys commenting that in the chat, posting it in the community, that gives us, and kind of raises the awareness that people want this kind of stuff. So if it's not out yet, stay tuned, but please keep prodding us because that's our easiest way for us to deliver this information to our product managers who could hopefully roll this out to you. All right. Jerry, what did you miss? You missed everything. So, no, I'm kidding. It's okay. Welcome to the show. Feel free to drop in your question. And Rama, is it necessary to reconfigure, reboot a NETGEAR router in order to bring it back to router mode from access point mode?
Answer is sometimes. If you can't get the IP address to get back into the router that's in access point mode, sometimes you may have to factory reset it to get it back to the standard router login.net or the 192.168.1.1 because when you put it in access point mode, it gets assigned a new IP address, and if you can't find that IP address, you may not be able to get back into it.
Okay. So I'm wondering, is there maybe any other information that we might need from Rama in order to kind of like help kind of pinpoint which decision or which kind of like is her next step, I guess?
What you could do is if it's in access point mode, you'd want to access the main router in the home that it's connected to and go to the attached devices and see if you can find that router as an access point on the list of attached devices. Find the IP address it's assigned, and then take that IP address and put it into your web browser and log in it normally like you'd log into any other router and see if the settings come up for that router. And then you can go in and change it from access point mode back to router mode from there.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Darren. Yeah, in any case, Rama does take a little bit of kind of digging in. And again, you do have us for pretty much the next 48 minutes. At 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific
about
time.
38
so,
minutes.
38 minutes. That's why I can't do math. So feel free to kind of let us know if you want to kind of help guide you through this kind of process, just so we could help you out as much as we possibly can. But again, we want to make sure that everybody here gets the question answered and gets heard. So feel free to follow up in case you're kind of confused about the next steps.
Yep.
All right. Yes, Ryan, thank you so much. Shout out to the likes. So if you guys are enjoying the show, or you guys find this helpful, or we answered your question and something got resolved, please, we want to know if this show is worth doing every single week. And the only reason, or the only way we're able to find that out, is if you guys are commenting, if you guys are liking this video, and if you guys are subscribing. So please give it a like if you want us to keep running on this show, because that lets everybody else in the company know that we're doing great and that we can keep on doing this. If we could do over 20 likes today, that'd be awesome. That is the goal. Ben will say 25, but I say 20.
Yeah. I always kind of try to push us a little bit further. To keep the questions coming. We're down to 35 minutes, but I just want to say, yes, Christine is amazing up there in the booth helping us out. Actually holding more than just helping us out, like answering questions, just making sure that this whole thing doesn't fall apart. And we really do appreciate you guys coming back week after week.
Oh yeah.
Can you believe that we've been doing this for almost a whole year? And the best part is that we used to spam out, "Hey everybody, we got a show," and for the while here we haven't said anything. We've been just doing the show week in, week out, and 21 of you guys all show up. That's amazing. So thank you so
really
much.
Is. Yeah. I was telling Ben before the show, I used to write all the social posts for all this, and I think it got to the point where we're really now a self-sustaining show on the YouTube channel because of you guys as subscribers who do come back and keep this show going. So really, this is kind of like the YouTube family. Before it'd be like, all right, let's blast this out to everybody. Now it's a little bit more exclusive.
I actually think you guys should give yourself a round of applause because it's really you guys. I think there's a question from Nathan. Do unmanaged switches get assigned IPs from DHCP, the router server, or do the IP assignments pass through the switch, making it easier to connect? Yeah. Now, I'm going to let Darren take a swing at this one, but I not so much on the technical side, but I think I have an issue.
We're at the bottom of the chat.
Yeah. Unmanaged switch would get assigned its IP addresses from the router that it's connected to. So anything that's connected to the switch would get an IP passed through to the router, from the router to the switch to the device. So Michael could probably go into more technical detail about that if he was here, but that's my basic understanding of what would be happening there.
Yeah, that's my understanding, is that the router does the thinking, which it routes. Yep. And because it's an unmanaged switch or a dumb switch, it's just going to pass through that information through the switch and just make things easier for everybody.
Yeah, unmanaged switches, they're really just dead simple. And a little bit of NETGEAR history, that there's apparently the unmanaged switches that are the most popular, the 8-port, are the ones that essentially started this company, and our people are still using today. So yeah, dead simple devices, and I am pretty confident that they pass through. Unfortunately, yes, we don't have Michael, who would probably be able to talk about this for at least 8 more minutes and tell you about how the technology works. But yeah, it is my assumption that it is simple pass through.
See, we already lost a person because they were like, "Oh, Michael's not here. I'm out."
I know.
I'm not getting my because Michael is really Mr. Science when it comes to this show, and it's just great having that knowledge base. Not to say that Darren does not have a huge knowledge base as well. He does, but
you all do. We all do. We're all amazing.
Whatever. I always feel like I'm like, oh yeah, me too. I'll just pile on things.
Okay. I'm just a millennial that likes giving participation trophies out. Yeah. So
T-shirts.
Always. T-shirts. Yes. Yeah. Don't talk about T-shirts yet.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go back to the middle of the chat here. I do see one coming in from DJ G-Boy, if I'm saying your name right. I only have an RBR 850, no satellites. So instead of paying for a whole satellite, I was seeing if I could use the EX15. Okay. So this was on the EX15.
Just a follow-up.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, really, the satellites are still relatively also pretty simple technology. Highly encourage you guys, check out, we have all these different channels. I do believe we have satellites that are a little bit on the lower end spec that should compare to the EX15.
Yeah. We have wall plugs. We have bigger, we have all range of the satellites that you could buy for the Orbee system for your budget and how big of a room you want to cover with it.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Yeah. So, confident that you can find something out there. And if anything, I could kind of dig in a little bit later if you have any more follow-ups on that. But of course, let us know how that goes. All right. Okay, here. So I'm going down. Okay. Actually, I'm going down. DJ G-Boy, you are next in line in terms of the next question here. Any chance of an Orbee AX6000 with cable modem built in? What did we announce here at CES 2021? That's a quiz question for all of us here.
Oh gosh, let me Google that for you.
Didn't we announce Orbee Pro AX?
We did.
Yeah. No, but we also announced Orbee Wi-Fi 6 with cable.
Yeah, there's a cable.
It escapes me the SKU, but let me pull it up. CBK. Sorry, we have so many products here that for us want to make sure that we get the names right. But I believe this one is the one you should probably
linked
check
it,
out.
I guess.
Oh, did
already.
You? Christine, you're ahead of the game here.
Oh my gosh.
You're beating us.
Yeah, look, boom, right there. God, we are.
We're the ones that are behind here. Sorry, I'm at the bottom of the chat and the top of the chat at the same time. So trying to make sure that
Christine is just knocking things out of the park all day today, and we're standing in midfield. I got it.
Oh yes.
It also looks like White Walker was ahead of Christine on that as well.
Yeah.
One of our viewers.
Oh my God, you guys are great. See, this is why it's been a year of doing this, but you guys are helping us out, coming back, answer your questions for us. Like,
I know.
you know, honestly, when we're planning the show out, this is actually something that we didn't really anticipate. You know, I don't know how honest I could get, but
a lot of times we're like a stump Michael is the challenge, but
yeah.
really, you know, you guys low hanging fruit is like stump Angelo and Ben.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's not that hard.
it's not.
For me, sorry. Ben, different story. But you know, because we're kind of when we're planning the show out, I was like, oh man, what is it gonna be like? We're throwing ourselves to the sharks. You know, I want to make sure, but you guys show us that you guys are returners. You guys are coming back. You guys are enjoying the show. It's a positive community, and I love to see this kind of stuff. So
me too.
Awesome. I hope that what I showed on screen for a split second though was what you're looking for. So, DJ G Boy, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe, like, man, we're so far behind with, and Christine, you're just saving the show today.
It's all good. It's all good. We love to see it. This is a question for you, Ben, from Ryan.
Okay.
My extra 500 is amazing for gaming. What else can I do with the extra 500? Maybe for my business.
Is your business gaming? No. If it is, it'll do amazing things. No, but all seriously, I actually use my Doom OS to make like this connection through Zoom stronger by bringing out a little bit more bandwidth for my laptop when I'm doing stuff during the day for work. File sharing as well, give it a little bit more juice. You know, anytime you're like media files are huge. I'm connected with the community and digital teams, so you know our files are huge. You know, sharing Photoshop and Illustrator files and sometimes MP4 files or whatnot. So yeah, with that, just dragging it out. So that kind of file sharing. Smart VPN, you know, there's a lot of things you can do for your business. It's a great router overall. It's really up to you how far you take it.
Good answer. You know, and I thought it was just something. I know you're probably Ryan. I know you're probably not running an esports cafe, but this is out of the box here. I remember we were talking to someone. I forgot about it, but there was someone that we worked with to set up some of the NPG routers for them, and they were thinking of putting Doom OS on kind of like one of those TV screens that you see at like an esports cafe, and then you know you got like obviously all these streams of like competitive players playing Rocket League, et cetera, but then in that mix you could put Doom OS on it, and apparently it's pretty insightful stuff. You could really see this network working in real time with all the computers connected to the LAN, and you know it's just kind of like a cool
there's some cool visuals.
Yeah. So that's an out-of-the-box idea.
let's knock out this other question on the XR1000 real quick about hybrid VPN and ad blocker. Will those be added back in? No decision's been made at this moment on those features. There's some talk on some features behind the scenes, and as soon as I can get more information on that and more information that I can actually speak to, I will definitely let you guys know. But the conversations are being made. I'll say that.
Perfect. Cool. Again, this is kind of going back to Ryan's question here. The world's our oyster. If anyone else here really has cool ideas, this is an open forum for everybody. You know, feel free to drop it in, because honestly, you guys come up with some really, really cool creative stuff. All right, that gamer. I think I have a hunch, but let's ask it. Does the GS108 400 NAS unmanaged switch, say that 5 times fast, have a ProSafe lifetime warranty? Is it yes? Jaren, do you know?
Christine's doing some research on it. It looks like. Okay. I have no idea on that one.
Perfect. Cool. So I have a hunch, but let's make sure that's verified before I do give you that hard yes. So Christine, she'll drop it in the chat once we kind of find some kind of like documented proof, I guess, just to make sure that, you know, we're sure about everything we're saying here. Dang, Michael really helps out a lot on these shows. Thank you, Michael, if you're watching this.
Oh, my God.
Man. All right. Ahmad, welcome back. Is it imprudent or is it prudent? Is it a must to attach a VoIP adapter to your router to run a virtual landline? Woo! Darren. How are we
No
thinking?
idea on this one.
All right.
Is it imprudent? That's what there's where
You got stumped on the imprudent.
I mean, imprudent. Is it
Virtual
impolite to do that? I don't like.
I thought it was. Is it necessary?
Is
Right.
it necessary to attach to your
I
router to
guess
run?
it all depends on what VoIP service you're using and what they
Yeah.
recommend to do.
Virtual landline. I can't even remember the last time I had a virtual or sorry, not a virtual landline, a landline.
Yeah.
A landline.
I would say, yeah, it just depends on this. The service.
Yeah, you are teaching us. You are teaching us a lot here. Personally, I haven't seen anyone using an adapter, a VoIP adapter, on the routers.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
Mhm.
That's not to say that it's not possible. Let's see.
I think Christine, she just commented she has a VoIP phone, connected a PoE switch to the phone, and then it worked. So
Yeah.
there's probably because like just I haven't heard of anyone plugging in a VoIP adapter to the routers. I mean, typically this is just through the surveys that I run. Like majority of people out there,
you
plug it
probably
in.
do it for power over Ethernet.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe that's what he means by the adapters. It
that's
powers
why
it.
you'll need the adapter.
Mhm.
Is if you're running the power, if it needs to be powered up, that would be probably definitely prudent then, because you'll need the power.
And Mod, I'm not sure how familiar you are with PoE switches in general, but I mean that's it. It's essentially a switch that is powered through Ethernet. I mean, can't get any more self-explanatory than that. But we do sell a lot of them, honestly, through the NETGEAR business website. So happy to help guide you through that. But that's the suggestion here. I just have not heard of anyone plugging in adapters to the routers, but the PoE switch is probably what's going to work with you. All right, Roberto, I'm looking for a cable modem 3.1 DOCSIS that is Wi-Fi 6E. I'm looking to buy a new set, or I'm looking to buy a new setup of mesh Orbee, but I don't see Orbee cable modem 3.1 DOCSIS and Wi-Fi 6E. Okay, so you're looking for a 6E mesh, which unfortunately, again, we can't really comment on anything in the future. But 6E is going to be just a technology I could just tell you from the get-go. It's a technology inflection for us. It's something that we're very much confident in our goals as a company to roll out, just as what we did from Wi-Fi 5 to Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6 to 6E, to kind of put it all together. You kind of see where I'm going with it, but can't comment on anything in specific in terms of what's being created, designed, ideated, conceptualized. Anyone else want to comment on that?
Well, yeah,
I think you got it. I think you got it.
People, leave your comments of what you'd like to see. I'm sure we'll look into all of them and see what's right for the market.
I'm telling you, just look at Hamad. He's teaching us at the same time we're learning. I'm learning at the show like every single week or every other week that I'm hosting it. But yeah, if this is something that you do want to see, drop it in, because we're gonna give this. We give everyone gets these comments, and then they know what we're doing every week, and then we can hand it off to the people that design these products. So, give them a little nudge. You never know. You might be credited in these future ideas. All right. Yeah, White Walker, the Orbee Wi-Fi 6 with DOCSIS 3.1, industry first. Yes. And yeah, 6E, again, 6E, we just announced the first product from NETGEAR literally just a couple of weeks ago for our other CES 2021 live stream. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. We take a deep dive into that, but mesh, keep your eye out. All right. Nathan, we got to your question about the extra 1,000. Oh no, sorry, Apple. Robert, you are next. I moved over from Orbee purchase the RBK 850 system, can't get the speed tests to work on the iOS app or the browser directly to the Orbee, don't want to do a factory reset, any other ideas? To be honest, I have heard a little bit of this on some of the surveys I ran, but I don't know, Darren, have you seen any kind of chatter in the community about this?
About what now?
People aren't able to run the speed test from the Orbee app.
I have seen a little bit of chatter across some products on this. I know that they are aware and they're trying to fix stuff like that within the GUI. But if you can't run the speed test there, I suggest go out to the internet and run a speed test, see what you get. It's going to be similar, close. It won't be the same, but it'd be close and similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. Honestly, Robert, I have heard about it, but I believe that should be something a little bit more from the app side in terms of updating the app and kind of fixing or kind of like just kind of ironing out any kind of bugs within there. So I would just ensure that in the App Store or let's say Google Play Store, iOS, wherever, just make sure that the app is updated. I wouldn't recommend resetting anything yet. I mean, even if you did, it wouldn't disrupt anything too much, like unless you're changing the Wi-Fi name. If you do reset it, you could change it to the same, or just keep the same Wi-Fi name, and then all your devices will still be connected. But I don't think the speed test is exactly like, it's not gonna break your system if you don't reset it. So keep it going, update the app in the near future. It should be ironed out. But again, keep checking up on us every week, either through the show or through the NETGEAR community, and you know, just because it's something familiar to me, like I'm quite confident that our apps team is working on this particular issue. But yeah, speedtest.net should be still pretty similar, you know, or any other preferred speed test platform. Okay, Roberto, if I am not mistaken, if I get a Wi-Fi 6 device, or here, if I get a Wi-Fi 6, I can't software update to get 6E. Yes. So Wi-Fi 6E is a new standard. It's not something that we could just roll out through the cloud, as much as I would love technology to improve that much. It is going to be something where it's the next hardware iteration here. Same thing from your phone. A 4G phone can't pick up 5G.
Right.
You know, these next wave devices will support the technology as it gets into more hands. More people. So yes, stay tuned. Again, still very early, and let's say if you're still kind of like open to kind of the idea here of the Rexy 500, highly encourage you to check that out, because I would just kind of say with confidence that the technology in the Rexy 500 kind of sets kind of the stage for the 6E product line, whatever that looks like in the near future. That's your first kind of taste of it. All right. Ben, I'm going to toss this one to you. That gamer, to clarify, I know there's been a rumor going around. The geofilter doesn't pass SBMM. I have no idea what that is, so I need help.
Skill-based matchmaking.
Okay. Oh, that's just gamer speak. Okay, I can't.
So, no, it doesn't bypass it, because why would you want it to bypass it? What you want it to bypass is connecting to by distance, not by skill. You still want to be connected to the people that are skill based. So that gamer, where's this rumor coming from? And
well, I mean, there's two sides of the coin with skill based matchmaking. With Warzone, I'm guessing he's wanting. Yeah. So people that are against it are trying to find any way not to do it because they want to enjoy their time in Warzone and get kills and not just lose all the time, basically, because they didn't say, I want to play a ranked system. Like, you don't choose to go in of a ranked system, which they just force skill-based matchmaking on you. Mm-hmm. And it's been a lot of talk within the gaming community about our routers and NetDoom software about trying to get around this. And they've been doing it for tournaments and stuff like that.
No, they haven't been. They've been using for tournaments, and I will say that out of all of the Warzone tournaments last year, only one was won by somebody that did not have Doom OS software. I will say that like Activision themselves went in and took a look to see if there was a way that they're getting around the SBMM, and we're not.
We're not. Yeah.
Otherwise, they ban usage as a cheat. Speaking of do we build a cheat? So it's not bypassing it. It's skill based matchmaking is kind of a double edged sword. I think that one there's it all depends on how you're playing. Some games like Overwatch, you can go into ranked, and then also free play. You don't really have that choice with Warzone. You're just kind of shoved in, and that's Activision's choice. So I would say if you're, I hate to come down on this side, but if you're not keen on skill-based matchmaking, then you'll probably want to play a game that has a couple of different modes between free play and ranked. But Warzone is always ranked, and you're probably not going to get around that.
I wish I could just see the ranks. I want to know where I'm at. You don't even know where you're at in the skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah, but you kind of get an idea if you go into barracks. I mean, you can kind of get an idea. Are you in the top, percentage of players? I mean,
I guess, yeah.
But I always distrust those because it always says that I'm in the top 15%, but I don't feel like I'm in the top 15%. If I was in the top 15%, I'd be pro.
Yeah.
And I am horrifically not pro. So, I don't trust those rankings, but
and they make you feel good.
It does. It really does. I go into it and I take a look at it every weekend, and then I go into Warzone and then I cry. Because I agree. There should be a way of like figuring out, am I a gold player, a platinum player, a bronze player?
Yeah, but I don't even know what they're basing it on. Are they basing it on where you rank at the end of a Warzone match, or how many kills you got, or both? I don't know what.
Right, because and then there's the other thing. How do you quantify that? Because there's many different ways to win Warzone. I mean, you can win a game of Warzone and not really fire a shot.
Yeah.
So does that rank me up because I won a round? Because now I'm a winner, even though I was probably the lame duck out of my trio? Or does it rank me because I was the hard carry and I got the 8 kills, I was the guy that did the most damage, but I didn't drop anybody. Somebody else did all the finishing. So how do they quantify, my skills versus somebody else's skills?
That's a great question.
I'd like to know. Inquiring minds would like to know.
Yeah,
because
that gamer, let us know. What do you think?
What do you think? Because I think it's all obfuscated. And that's what I think everybody is trying to figure out, and everybody's kind of poo-pooing about.
Mm-hmm. He did put one, or they did put one comment, or let's say follow-up. I think people think that they could just block the 10 out of 10 skill server, but all COD has to do is change their IP, make it a 1 out of 10. Am I saying that? 1 out of 10 skill server, a 10 out of 10 skill server, so that it proves the run up false. This is out of my league.
Yeah. All they have to do is just change what it is, and I don't even think that there's servers. I don't even think it's as simple as that. I don't think that there's a central 10 out of 10 skill server. I think it's a lot more spread out than that, as far as the games. But I just, I think a good start would be having some transparency of, how bad do I suck at Call of Duty? Just put my skill.
That's what I want to see. I want to see how we're being ranked. If they're going to rank us, let us know.
Yeah, because because you can kind of guess a little bit, because if you go in and the guy's like 87th level, that he's not going to be trying to figure out how to reload or accidentally throwing a grenade or flashing the team or whatever. So that at least has his chops. He's been playing it for 82 levels. I'm probably going to say that guy's kind of deadly. But you could be like me. I'm like level 82, but I've just been plunking away for a long time. So, so that doesn't even work,
Dang. I could guarantee you I will be on the bottom 15%, Ben, so don't even try. That's why I can't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm tossing all the question to you guys.
Yeah, and I have to say I play a lot. I really do. I play a lot of I haven't played a lot of Cold War because God, I forbid, I hate that game.
That's bad.
But I'm still on Modern Warfare. I'm still playing, and I have to say that I have a positive kill death ratio. So that's to me, that's the point for me is I always try to at least be on the positive side of that equation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plus, playing against people who suck isn't fun. I've done that before, and it feels like the game has no purpose. Yeah, it feels like you're killing bots, but you're not killing bots. And I actually think that sometimes the bots are smarter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you're like, dude, don't go down that lane. I killed you 3 times down this lane, and there he is. He poked the head out again. Boom. Okay. And then you're like, just waiting for him to come back. Yeah, while a bot will actually, change up their people get target fixated, and I think that's I think that's what makes it suck sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, rant over. Moving on.
So we do like skill-based matchmaking.
I actually do. I think
do too.
Being competitive with people that are about my same skill set makes it competitive. That's how you get good.
It's just them not being transparent about it is the problem.
Is the big problem.
Makes sense. So we got to go to their live streams and then yell at them, and then we can come back and circle back. All right. Okay. So we do have less than 10 minutes left. So everybody who wants to get the last questions in, highly encourage you to do so, and then we're going to kind of rapid fire them off. Again, we do this every week, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. So we got our last 10 minutes here. Young Rain is going to go install his internet. Catch you next week. Thank you for joining. And
thanks. We'll see you next week. Hopefully everything goes smooth.
Perfect. And Roberto, new subscriber, thank you so much. Again, let's get over 20 likes today. I know we can do it.
We should have like a bell or something that rings off when we have a new subscriber.
Let me hook up this to like what is it?
OBS.
Yeah. Well, OBS to I can't remember. Oh my god.
Streamlabs.
Yeah, there you go. So we could get chimes every single time one of you guys are subscribing. I would love to have that. We'll turn this into a Twitch stream, all right? Even though
we will make that happen.
Perfect. All right. I see questions coming in. DJ G-Boy, I just wanted to confirm, I believe Christine did help you out already. Parental control is coming soon, and it should be in-house, yes. So hopefully you're covered there. Hamad, I think really quick, just make sure we answer this one. Duma was released yet?
Yes.
Answered yes, but where?
Where? It's on the forums. So it's still in sort of beta for the 500 and 700. And there's an update for, I believe, the 1000. The team's small. They're working their tails off. We're trying to get these out as quickly as possible. If I had more to update, I would give you more, but I don't at the moment. For those of you that are watching, we're coming down to the final 5 minutes. Please hit the thumbs up if you found this mildly entertaining. And it helps us with the algorithm. It helps us keep visibility, and it helps this show keep going. So after a year, I think we are getting better. So I hope so. So give us a thumbs up. It would really it would make my mom proud.
Yes.
So
and Ben, I'm gonna leave the last few minutes kind of for your section because I want to make sure Kyle and XGenZRTMHD. I'm gonna throw in the pulpit here, but I did want to answer Larry.
Kyle Hayton.
Yeah. So don't worry. We'll get you guys covered. Larry, I want to make sure that you got your question answered here. 3GS724, etc., smart managed switches with PoE. 43 IP cameras. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Are there recommended settings changes for this to be most efficient? Okay, and then just me kind of speaking as kind of all rounder here at NETGEAR, I'm not sure, like, especially with the smart managed switches, I believe you should have insight, and with insight, you'll have a lot more kind of capability to essentially prioritize these devices and make them more efficient to your network. I could only kind of speak at a high level, Darren. I don't know if you have any kind of things on the top of your head.
I'm really not. I don't really get to use those type of products very often. I think this would be a great question if we had Brett on the show for someone like him.
I would actually like to. Larry, is it possible that you can? Let's see if we can actually get Brett on the show next week.
Whew, yeah, that'd be awesome. You know,
if you can come back next week, we can have our genius SMB guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically me, but for all of those SMB managed switches, he knows them inside and out. He also knows the whole camera.
Perfect.
Stuff. So if you come back next week, we could see about getting him on the show and getting you some answers.
And I think we're Christine. I think she's actually pinging him right now. So
yeah,
boom. Thank you, Christine, because you got our whole team on the line here, and then we're all on Teams and Slack right now. So, well, hopefully we can get you that answer before this show ends. But Ben, are you ready for this? All right,
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay,
let's go.
So optimization for the X500, and what are your thoughts?
Failing to load on optimization.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple of things here, but that's the first one I see from XGen Z RTM
XZ, you got water damage. X8 change to 5. I guess that wasn't the best choice. Oh, he's having optimization for. Is that for Wi-Fi range or is it? What's going on? Remember that you want to kind of put it high up. You don't want it low on the ground. You also don't want it in a cubby. You don't want it in a closet. The 500 actually does need a lot of air in order to keep cool. Otherwise, it will overheat, and that's when you get intermittent shutoffs. So where is it is a good starting point. And then if we can't get any of your answers finished, like on the show, can we? What's our support thing for answering a little bit longer?
So if you do NETGEAR team at NETGEAR.com, NETGEAR team at NETGEAR.com, and do hashtag stay connected in the subject line. That is pretty much, again, because we will run out of time soon, and we'd love to make sure that we get all the problems here ironed out. Yes, Christine is dropping it in the chat as we speak. So placement, at least for XGen, that is kind of a top priority here. And then, and then also that gamer, you're also on a good point too. The wall material. Everyone's homes are different. Everyone's home sizes are different. It's a different kind of situation for a lot of people.
If you've got concrete, if you've got cinder block, if you've got steel, if you've got all those things make it a little bit more difficult for a Wi-Fi to kind of get through the walls. So whatever. Also, if you have an aquarium, it's weird, but that affects it. Microwave in between. How many other systems are in the area? What channels those are on? All have effects directly onto your network system.
And my last thing here is check the modem. Make sure that if you can, highly recommend you purchasing and owning your own modem. One, you'll save money, but two, you're gonna get better hardware, because sometimes people will kind of come up to us with either speed issues, dropouts, etc., and then perhaps, like I've seen this, they just plug it into their ISP provided router, which isn't good hardware to begin with. Don't set it to bridge mode, and then problems come up. So just let us know what kind of modem you have, and encourage you to check in with us, NETGEAR team at NETGEAR.com, and then we'll be able to help you a little bit more out. Or come back next week, and then we'll give you the full time. Kyle, we want to make sure Kyle's
had
happy.
A couple of issues, and the thing is Kyle, right into us. I would like to actually work on your issue and try to get you at least someplace happy, because that's so weird that you had two particular one. Anytime that any of these routers make a high-pitched whine while it's running, probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
And I would just say that was probably a bad one out of the factory. Now you're having a second one that's having some issues, and also you were saying that the first one kept having a weird thing where the Smart Connect would jam everybody on 2.4 and not do 2.5. That seems really, really strange, and I would say that first one's probably defective. The second one, if you're having issues, I would factory reset it, and then upgrade the firmware and see what that does. And barring that, I would actually write into us and have them forward it to me, and I'll see what I can do on this side.
Yeah, Kyle, if you're having a hardware issue, we can definitely get you through to support and maybe get you an RMA if it's definitely a hardware issue. But we want to troubleshoot with you first to see what we can do.
Because that is absolutely not typical behavior in a 500. That's so weird, because 500 is pretty damn stable. That I had one for 2.5 years and I never had an issue with it.
Yeah.
So the only reason I don't have it is I have an XR 1000. And the weird that it's failing to load. That sounds like something's like a corrupted firmware.
So XGen and Kyle, should we toss them up? And I know we're out of time here, but and if you're willing to help them out a little bit after the show.
Yeah, and have them to write in. Christine already has that email. Stay connected in the subject, and then forward it over to me, Kyle, and I'll see what we can do, because I'm in talks directly with the NetDuma team.
Awesome.
But that just seems absolutely weird.
Yep. And just imagine we are a small team here, so he's your best guy. There's no one else.
And then XGen, I just like to try to it's so hard to troubleshoot in like 2 minutes about where the placement is and how to make it better. When is the coming out of beta for 3.0? It should be coming out soon. I mean, the last firmware was pretty close to being retail ready. I'll check with the team over the next week, and I'll have if you come back next week, I'll have some sort of answer, I hope.
Yep. Keep coming back. We'll keep giving you the information as we get it. But again, wanted to thank everybody here in the chat who came to join the show. I know we got a little bit more work ahead, or Ben, you got a little bit, a little bit of help coming to you super soon. But thank you, Darren. Thank you, Ben, for coming back for this week's show. Next week, hopefully, we get Michael Ellis back, and then Alec should be hosting. So.
Hey, can we get just a couple likes? Just take us home over 20. If we
so
just
close.
Get a couple, we're so close. We just need 3 of you guys. Just hit the
3 more.
Like button.
4 more.
Yeah,
I hope so.
That gamer for coming and watching, and we will try to get some answers and get back to you guys next week. So
next week, yep. That gamer, same time.
That gamer,
next week.
Kyle, and next gen, XGen. Yeah, definitely come back. We'll see if we can sort you out. Get in early, and we'll try to troubleshoot you as best as possible. But we'll take a look at it over the week as well. Thanks, guys.
You, Texas.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Texas. Thanks, everybody. And have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Later, guys.